Is nursing school really that hard? Welcome back to the Grappling Nurse, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Is nursing school really that hard? And if so, what makes it that hard? We're going to talk about exams, we're going to talk about clinicals, skills labs, we're going to talk about the whole 9 yards. So if this is something you're interested in, stick around because we're going to really dive deep into it. But let's just start off. Is nursing school really that hard? Before I give you the answer, I want you to know that these things, these videos that I'm bringing you, it's not just my opinion. I go and talk to the rest of my cohort, or talk to the rest of the students, and I see if that thought is a collective thing, right? Not that I'm just the oddball out and I'm bringing you videos in my opinion. This is the opinion of, multiple nursing students, okay? And I'm not going to say everybody in my cohort, but I do talk to a few students here and there to make sure that we're on the same page. And the consensus was that it's really not that hard, not in the way that we thought it was before we started. And the idea for this video came because I was sitting in the back and I was talking to one of my classmates, and she got an A as well. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, we're going through lecture, and I'm like, is this really that hard? And she thought about it and she was like, no, it's really not that hard. And I was like, yeah, it's really not. Like, I thought it was going to be harder than this, but it's not. It wasn't that hard to get an A, right? And the reason for this is before nursing school, I'm looking up a whole bunch of stuff about nursing school, and all I'm seeing is how hard it is. And I'm seeing people that graduated, it's so hard. I'm seeing people that dropped out, it's so hard. Everything that you see is just telling you that nursing school is super hard. So instantly in my mind, I'm like, because I got A's on all the prereqs, I'm sure you guys have done the same thing, but it wasn't like that hard, right? And I'm thinking, is it hard to the point where I'm not going to be able to comprehend the information? Like, no matter how hard I study, no matter what I do, just some people just won't comprehend, and that's just is what it is. Like, you're not cut out to be a nurse. That's not the case. And that's what I mean by it's not really that hard, okay? It's not hard to the point where if you study and you try, you're not going to comprehend. That's not the case. If you try, even if you like your comprehension is slow and you're like, maybe I don't want to say like you're dumb, because obviously if you're going into nursing school, you're not, right? In fact, if you got good grades on your prereqs, you're good. You're gonna be able to comprehend the information for sure. Okay, I'm telling you that now. Nothing has came to me where I was like, what? Right? The hardest thing is remembering the pharmacology. That's like the hardest thing, and it's not like crazy hard. Um, but nursing school is hard in another way. It's definitely one of the more demanding degrees. It's not like going to get a business degree or like a math degree. It requires a lot of work, and it's a degree you're going to feel like you earned, right? Which is the reason why I jumped into this field. I'm like a semester away from getting my business degree, but I was like, that's cool, right? But I'm probably not going to use it, and it's not going to feel like like an accomplishment for me. But after this, after getting my nursing degree, I'm going to be like, I earned that for sure. And I'm going to tell you why. So first off, what makes nursing school hard? Um, you're going to be dealing with anxiety and pressure a lot, okay? Especially first semester. Um, when you're going into like another degree, say you're going into business classes or um, math classes, there's really no pressure, no anxiety. You go in, you learn, you're wearing your hoodie, you know what I'm saying? You got your slippers on, you got your milkshake or coffee or whatever, and you just go in there, take notes, leave, go home and study. The only time you might feel a little bit of pressure and anxiety is like the tests, right? Or a big project. But that's not the case with nursing school, especially, obviously, exams and stuff, clinicals, yeah, a little bit of pressure in the beginning, but I'm specifically talking about skills labs. I remember in the third week of skills labs, I was like, why do I have this like butterfly feeling like I'm about to go into a competition, right? Like I'm about to go and fight, or I'm about to go into a football game. Like I have those little pre-game butterflies. And that's because that's exactly what it is. You're going to perform something in front of somebody, just like you're going to play a game or going to fight. You're going to perform. So you can't just wake up and just be like, oh, I don't really feel like doing nothing today. Now you better get up and start feeling like it, because you're going to do something, right? And what I mean by that is in your skills labs, you're learning all these skills, right? And some of the skills you have to perform in front of your teachers, right? And you have to perform them right. It's a test, and it's the teacher watches you as you're doing something brand new, and it's just a weird, uncomfortable feeling, especially in the beginning, right? How it works is you learn a whole bunch of skills. Some skills you just got to go over with your classmates, and then some skills not only do you go over with your classmates, you have to go over with the teacher. So you go over twice with the classmate, right? They like test you out, and this is a very great process. I love that part because that's really how I learned most of the skills is with my peers. We're going over, we're going through the checklist, and they're telling me where I'm going wrong. I'm telling them, and we're getting it corrected together, and we're figuring out the best way to do things together. It's a great way to learn. And then after some of the skills, you get 2 peer checkoffs, and you go to the teacher, and she watches you do it. She does, and she's just there with her clipboard, and she watches you, and she's like, and you look at her face, and you don't know if she's happy or mad, because she's like, you know what I'm saying? And it's a weird feeling. But after, the first semester, after the first skills lab, this second semester, a lot of us is like, it's not even that bad no more. Like, we're used to it. I don't have no anxiety this semester at all yet. You know what I'm saying? But first semester, you're gonna deal with that. You're gonna deal with it's a brand new thing, and most students aren't gonna be used to having to go and perform something or take a test every, a couple times a week. As far as the test, I don't really have test anxiety, but we're going to talk about the exams. But I mean, that's another situation where you'd feel pressure and anxiety. But skills lab, skills checkoffs, it's a brand new thing. It's a brand new feeling. Just prepare for that. Another thing is the time. This is a pretty self-explanatory one, right? Nursing school is going to require a lot of your time, more than probably a lot of other degrees. And the fact is, it requires so much time that you're always going to feel like you don't have time to do things that you're supposed to do for nursing school. For instance, your clinicals is a 10-hour shift, right? You get up at like 4:35, whatever, get there by 6, because you got to be early, right? Clinical starts at 6:30, got to be on the floor, ready to go. And you're there till 3:30 or whatever, right? It's like, what is that, 10 hours or 9 hours or something like that? And then after there, you're expected to go home and write your pathos for the patients you had, or the 2 patients you had, or the 4, however many you have, and then write the med sheets for those patients, etc. Right? You got to go home and do stuff after your clinical. Then you have to go back the next day, because those are due the next day. So you have to get those done right then and there, and then go back the next day and go back to the clinicals, right? And like, that's like already 20 hours of the day, right? Just in the clinicals, and you still have stuff to do in between there. Not to mention you have an exam every 2 weeks, right? And you have these little homework assignments that we're going to talk about next. So you just have to be able to manage your time wisely. For me, I work 2 jobs, like you guys know. Luckily for me, I make my own hours, and I probably work less than one person working full time with both those jobs. But if I could do that and you're not working at all, then you should have no problem with the time, right? For me, I just get it done like when I got time. I just know that there's always going to be something for me to do, and I'm never going to have no free time, except for like on a Sunday, right? But even with that, I do find time with my wife. I do find time to like chill for a second, maybe have a drink or something. So it's not crazy. It's just more than what you'd have to do in another degree. And then let's talk about the homework. Because this is not hard, but I'm sure this is what you've heard, and it's probably scared you into thinking that it's hard. And it's that every assignment, every little thing that they give you is pass or fail. And that's a scary thought at first, because you're like, yo, if I don't do this perfectly, I'm going to fail this assignment. I've never seen anyone fail. The only people that I've seen fail an assignment is because they just didn't do the assignment. And even if you fail an assignment, it's like, one assignment's not going to hurt you, right? If you're just not doing any of them, then yeah, they're going to probably do something. But I've never seen anyone fail an assignment, and the assignments aren't like crazy hard. Like, you use ChatGPT to help you do the assignments, and then you read them, you learn what's going on, and boom, you're good, right? I'm not saying ChatGPT to just do everything, because you need to learn. You're going to be testing on a lot of stuff that you're going through, but assignments, it's not hard, and I've never seen anyone fail. I've never failed. Assignments have never took me more than like 20 minutes to complete. You know what I'm saying? They're all like supplemental to help you like kind of grasp what's going on, but they're not crazy hard. Let's talk about I had a brain fart. Let's talk about skills labs. Oh no, we already did that. Let's talk about exams. Sorry. Exams. This is where you see all the TikToks and talking about like how these questions are asked and yada yada, and just like all the answers are right, and in a way, yeah, but the exams aren't still. I mean, this is loaded. You should load it. You know what I'm saying? Exams aren't that hard. I don't think so. and like not yet. Um, they're different than the exams you would take, obviously, in another degree. But for instance, I probably study less than 4 hours for an exam. Every exam, probably like to be really honest, probably like 2 to 3 hours, right? And I've got high 80s, like 89. I think I scored like an 89 something on like 3 exams, and I think we took like 6 exams, 6 or 7 exams. Um, one exam I got a 78, which is horrible because if you don't get above a 75, you fail. I just made the nursing school look really hard, but it's not. It's not. And the reason why I got such a low score is because I wasn't thinking like a nurse, right? I wasn't thinking ABCs. I wasn't thinking assess first, right? If there's an assess on the question, pick assess because it's always assess. Know the ABCs, very basic things, but because I was psyching myself out thinking these exams are so hard, I was like reading into questions thinking like, this can't be the answer because that's just too easy, right? And then after I finished that test, I went to the exam review and I realized that I'm just overthinking stuff. And I made a couple of changes. I was first up, think like a nurse. If you see assess, you see ABCs, that's it, right? But then also I stopped going back. And now this is just my thing. When I go through the exam and I finish freaking fast. I finished so fast to the point where I kind of want to sit there for a little bit and pretend like I'm still taking the exam, just so that if I bomb one, it's not like this freaking guy's retarded. But like I'll finish the exam in like 15, 20 minutes maybe, and I'll be done. Like, and it's still good grades, but I don't go back. I read the question thoroughly, I answer, and that's my answer, right? Because a lot of times you go back, you change, wrong. And I was doing that. I was wrong. And it's because in my mind, I was like, these nursing exams are so hard that everyone's telling me they're so hard, but they were so not hard. They were so not hard, so don't worry about it. I can give you some tips on how to take exams. If you want to know, just go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section. You know, let me know that you want to know how I take exams. I'll make a whole video on it. And if you're getting value on this video, make sure you subscribe. I always forget to say that, right? I'm always bringing you guys nursing stuff, you know, a little bit grappling stuff if you guys are interested. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? And last but not least, let's talk about the clinicals. Clinicals, they don't make a nursing school hard in the sense of like, oh my God, like what am I doing? This is crazy. It's just hard in the sense of it's long, right? But it's like what you're here to do. So it just would be better to get paid to do it. You know what I'm saying? But the first clinicals you go to, the first week or two, you're probably gonna feel a little bit weird. And that comes into that anxiety pressure because you're not used to being in the hospital floor, unless you are. For me, I wasn't, never been in a hospital except for being a patient. So just thinking about like going in and being like, knock, I'm your student nurse. Like, what patient is going to be like, oh, you're a student nurse? Come, yeah, put a catheter in me. Yeah, let's do it. I can't wait. How many times have you done this? Once on a dummy? Come. And so that's what I was thinking. I was like, bro, why would they even want me in there, right? But it's not even like that. The patients were like super happy to have a student nurse. One, because they get more care. They get like personalized care. Like I'm always in there. I'm attentive. And then two, we're not like super incompetent, right? We're pretty competent in the stuff that we can do. So I never had like a person like, I don't want a student nurse. It's not weird. It just is. It seems like it's gonna be weird when you first go, but it's not. And then after like the first week, I just felt like I was going to clock into a job. I wasn't nervous no more. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Doing the new skills and stuff, that can be a little bit like, oh, but if you're doing it with the RN, they're usually very, very helpful. Like my first time pulling out a catheter, the RN was super helpful. He's like, yep, boom. Oh, you're doing good. Yep, this is what we're going to do. Boom. And it was quick. And now it's like clockwork, right? Same with other skills, you know, things that are like really, whatever they say, that like the more important ones, the teacher's going to do with you. If you have a good instructor, hopefully you do. It's not going to be too hard. So, yeah, I mean, clinical is only hard because it's like 2 10-hour shifts. And other than that, it's not like taking care of the patients. None of that's been like overboard to the point I was like, I can't do this. Just focus on the things that you learn in skills labs, and that's it, right? anything else, that's about it for the things that are hard in nursing school. But what I would say is that you're here to become a nurse. Hopefully, it's something that you wanted to do because it's something that you like really into. Come into nursing school really wanting to learn and really wanting to like learn the skills and apply the skills. If you're just coming to like get through it and like get a degree, right? Like, you know, you go to business or math, you just like kind of getting through it to get the degree so you can get a job, then this is probably going to be like horribly hard and horribly mundane and just like, why am I always doing stuff? But if you get into it and you're like actually trying to learn the material and apply the material and, you know what I'm saying, become a nurse like you're in the nursing field to do, it's gonna be a breeze, man. It's gonna be a breeze. It's not that hard. And yeah, that's all I got, man. This is the Grappling Nurse. I'm Samson, and she subscribe, I guess. You know what I'm saying? All right.